Hey guys, thanks for watching. I'm Arthur and you're watching Dirt Hammers Off-Road Media. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment on the video, but most importantly, subscribe because I'd love to have you as a new viewer. But anyways, let's jump into this. Today, I'm going to show you how to clean your engine bay. Now, there's probably a couple different ways that you can do this as far as cleaning your engine bay. We're just going to be using some basic cleaners. I'm going to use the Super Clean. Got a couple of different ones here that we're going to use. They're both the same. They're just, this is an aerosol, and then I got the Super Clean foaming action. This will probably be the one I use. It's a little more controllable, and we'll see how good it cleans up the engine. But one thing you want to do is we don't want to pressure wash the engine bay. I know a lot of people have done that, and you'll see a lot of people do that. I don't recommend doing that. We want to use low pressure. We don't want to force water anywhere it doesn't need to be. And just be cautious. You might need a couple of brushes available so you can kind of scrub some areas. And if your engine bay area is super muddy, maybe you had a really muddy off-road trip and the engine is just covered in mud, the best thing you can do is rinse the engine down and get rid of all the heavy buildup of mud the best you can, and then do this process that we're going to cover in this video and just hope for the best. Again, I don't recommend pressure washing that heavy mud off. It's just going to put water in places that it probably shouldn't be. And I also recommend doing this on a cold engine. And I don't do this a lot. This is something I probably do maybe once or twice a year at the most. It's not something you want to do all the time. I don't want to do it all the time. I just don't want to introduce that much water and moisture all the time to the engine bay area. So just be a little cautious on the frequency that you do that. So let's jump in and get started. Super Clean foaming action that we're going to use. These two chemicals are exactly the same. One's just an aerosol, and then one's just a foaming spray bottle. And I got a couple different brushes we're going to use. This one's pretty well used up, but it still works good. Just a couple different brushes to give you some scrubbing options for some of the mud. Take a look around. My engine bay is not that dirty. You know, there is a little bit of mud. Just a little bit of mud splattered up in this area here, but it's not terrible dirty by any means. But we'll definitely get that cleaned up and get it looking better. I'm going to leave this top cover on. It's kind of cosmetic. My engine is not that nasty that I think that I need to remove this and clean underneath it. So in this video, it's going to work well as just helping shed some water off the engine instead of water collecting under here and just sitting. So I'm going to leave that on for now. And if the engine bay area was a lot muddier and needed a lot more cleaning, I would probably remove this just to clean underneath it. I like to go ahead and give it just a pre-rinse before I put any chemical on. Just using a little bit of garden hose pressure. I'll probably just turn that down just a little bit. Going ahead and doing a little bit of a pre-rinse helps kind of get any type of mud, dirt, and grime, get it wet and trying to help loosen it up a little bit. Now that we got the engine kind of pre-soaked, we're just going to give it some squirts. Super Clean. This foaming action, and the reason I mentioned about some brushes is it just you want to help brush any of this stuff in and move the chemical around. It doesn't take a whole lot. I'll show you that here in just a second. But the foaming action really helps the chemical kind of adhere and bond to parts a little bit. It just doesn't run off. It actually kind of attaches itself to them in that foam. Now you see how that works. I'm going to demonstrate the aerosol, and you can see how it covers. See the difference? You definitely got to use this when the wind is really calm. You don't want to use this on a windy day to just blow it everywhere. But this works really well. I got zero wind today, but you can see how it coats really nice. And this is where the brushes come in handy. After you got it sprayed, let it soak for just a few minutes. Take your brush, best you can, what brushes you have. Just kind of work that around. Let me swap brushes. Stuff on, if it's not super dirty, it'll actually do a good job of cleaning. The brush just helps really move the chemical around. And now that we've got that treated, we've scrubbed it in. It's been sitting for a few minutes. You definitely want to let it sit for a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and start rinsing. And as you rinse, be careful not to get it on. It probably will strip any wax and stuff off your paint. So if you do get it on there, just quickly rinse it off like this. Just chase it off. Okay, so that was it. You know, it only takes a few minutes to clean up the engine bay and get it clean. Once you get it clean, you rinsed it really well, and you rinsed any of the exterior of the vehicle that you may have got some overspray on. This is a good time to dry the engine. Leaf blowers work really well. That's what I use to dry my vehicle after I wash it. Starting the engine up and letting it run for a few minutes or taking it for a drive is a good way. Compressed air works. Just be careful with it when you're drying it. But let's take a look and see how clean the engine bay is and see how good the super clean worked. I mean, overall the engine is really clean. I know it wasn't terrible dirty to start with, but you can definitely see how clean it got with minimal effort. I mean, I just took the scrub brush for a few moments and just kind of hit the high spots, but you can see it come really clean. Okay guys, so there's the video. I'd love to hear from you on any techniques that you have for cleaning your engine bay. I know this is a simple task. There's a lot of questions usually flying around about it. Just be mindful when you do it. No high pressure, just use your garden hose. Get a cleaner that you prefer. I prefer to use the super clean. You just need to be careful with it. It is a very strong cleaner, and it can help, or it can damage certain components like powder coat, raw aluminum. So if you're going to use it, you need to kind of test some of those components to make sure you're not going to harm anything. And a good way to do that is like I did. When I pre-rinse the engine, that adds a little bit of water. I know it's a little bit of dilution, but it's not much. But you can also dilute this. You can actually pour this into a separate spray bottle and do, 3 parts to 1, 4 parts, whatever you want to do, and kind of dilute it some. But it's a great cleaner. It works well cleaning engine bay. But drop your comments below on your techniques for cleaning. Make sure you subscribe and like the video and share it. Thanks.